what we're doing.
Obviously, you got to see Cade have that lead part or that one, I guess, to be the leader of the offense. I mean, how much do you go to establish himself as that in that period of time, and how important is this spring?
Yeah, I think he took full advantage of it as a freshman. You know, I mean, the one thing that one of the things I really like about this team is I really think that our best players on this team are incredibly committed. I really do. I mean, you know, we've had some years you have some teams where some of the times your best players are you know, you'd like for them to be a little bit of a better leader, a little bit more committed. This team, the best players are really passionate and they're really committed and they're really good leaders. And Cade is an example of that. I mean, this guy is super competitive, incredibly committed, really truly believes in, you know, what we do here and how we do it. And, you know, he's a winner and he's a natural leader. So, you know, it's hard. It's a different dynamic when you take over as a freshman late and you kind of have that new role. But now having an off season, going in the weight room, being out on the field, Saturdays, throwing balls to the guys, getting the guys together and things like that. I mean, he's had an opportunity to really assert himself that way. And it's been fun to watch. I mean, he's in a good spot.
Coach, speaking of leaders, Will Shipley missed last spring. That was a good opportunity for Maffa, but seems like that was torturous for Will not being able to suit up. How excited is he about this spring?
Yeah, he's excited, and you know, he's a guy that has worked hard this offseason too to get his body. You know, he was battling some tendonitis and things like that coming out of the season, but he's worked really hard to be able to get out there and compete. And so that's a really good group right there. I mean, those two guys, you know, I think have a chance to be, you know, a special group. They both have done some really good things in their first 2 years, but there's a lot more there for both of those guys, and I think you'll see that for sure this year. And so we feel good about them. So let's see where's Dominique, where's Keith Adams. We got you know, a couple more guys rolling in here this summer. You know, and Jay and Jarvis, and we'll see where they are as well. So it's going to be a fun group when everybody gets here all together.
What are you going to see out of Makuba this offseason as a whole?
Same thing I was saying about Antonio. I want to see him just maturity. You know, I thought he took a step back last year. I don't think physically he was in a good place. He was hurt a lot. You know, the one thing I'll say about Makuba, he's one of the toughest kids we have on this team. But I just don't think he had his body in the best possible spot last year. And so he's already improved in that area. He's about 8 or 9 pounds heavier right now than he was when we finished the season. So just physically getting his body in a better spot. And then you know, he's got to be more disciplined, more focused. There's just no question. I mean, he made some mistakes last year that you know, if he just is a little bit more disciplined with his eyes, with his technique, you know, he's in a better position. So, and then I think physically, again, he's got to really assert himself in this offseason more than he did last year to give himself the best possible opportunity to have the type of season that he wants to have. Really good player. He's a dynamic player, but you know, and then getting healthy. Because like I said, he had the elbow, he had knee, he had a little bit of everything last year. But I think it starts with just really truly maturing and really being committed nutritionally, you know, strength conditioning, the whole deal.
What was the evaluation process like for you and Wes around his first year?
Just going through everything and you know, evaluating all the calls, evaluating all the personnel, situational stuff. You know, I mean, sometimes the stats don't really kind of show what you want. Sometimes it may show certain things, but it's still not what you want it to be. But you know, I think we're in a really good place in that room. I love the staff. I love the coaches. You know, Wes has a great grasp on it, and you know, we know what went right and what didn't, and what we got to do to get better. And the number one thing is pass defense. You know, simple as that. And so we think we've got good players. We think we're going to have more depth. than we've had, but we've got to execute a little bit better. And, so that'll be a big focus for us. If we're better with pass defense and we're better with our pass offense, we'll have another great season.
This will be your 15th spring as head coach. Are you as excited today as you were 15 years ago?
Absolutely, man. I was just telling some folks that earlier today. I mean, it's just like this day never gets old when you get a chance to actually get back out on the field and start over and, build a new team. I mean, and it goes so fast. 8, 9 months, this thing is over. We've got the results. And last year we were 11-3, and this time last year we were kind of getting ready, getting going. You don't really know what's coming. Well, we won the league. We're 11-3, and had another good year. Some teams maybe we've had some better teams along the way, but man, I can just tell you our program's never been better, and we are really in a good spot. But it's always exciting to get started and to just see if you can put it all together. This is my favorite part is that challenge of building a new team and seeing if you can help this guy get to another point. Like to me, I had dinner with KJ Henry last night, and like seeing KJ and where he was this time last year and why he came back and what we were trying to do, and now to see him where he is and just see him maximize his career here academically, athletically, and just his growth and maturity as a man. That's what I love. I love that transformation. And so every year you start over and you kind of figure out where guys are and how do we take the next step. And they change. Young people grow. And the reason we've been so successful here for a long time is because these guys have grown up and they buy in, and then it becomes their responsibility to kind of pass that down, the leaders. And so now, okay, those guys are gone. Man, who's those new guys? And then taking that next step from a transformation standpoint, leadership. It's fun. It's fun because it's new dynamics. I mean, you get out on the field today, and it's the first time we've been out there as a team, and it's all of a sudden a guy that didn't really have a voice last year or 2 years ago. Next thing you know, he's got this voice. He's got this confidence. He's got this skill set now. He's got the fundamentals are better. I mean, it's fun, to see that. And but it's a long year ahead, and this is just one of those days that you look forward to every year.
Is it a bummer to have this many guys out? I think y'all were banged up last year.
Well, I mean, it's just, yeah, you wish you had everybody, but I think, like I said, I'm pretty confident in Rook. I think he's going to be all right. I think on Peyton Page, I feel really good about Peyton Page. So, it's not a bad thing. Because now we get a chance to see Peter Woods right out of the gate, right? We get to see some of these. Kay Parson, I don't think is going to be there today. His mom, he had to get home. She was not doing well. She was sick, so he went home to check on her. But he'll be back. He was at the dinner last night too. So, but Kay Part and Trey and those guys, it's a good opportunity for them. I'm excited to see Greg Williams. I can't wait to see him and Kay. Zaire, kind of how's that? I'm so excited to see Maskell in this role now as being like the guy. It's going to be a lot of fun, and see how they take to it. But yeah, I wish we had Bo out there, but I think the biggest thing is let's get Bo healthy. Let's get that shoulder healthy. I wish I had Adam. That's a bummer, but. It's kind of just a major, but just a little something sticking on his knee that they had to kind of clean up, but he'll be out. I definitely wish I had him out there, but they're not going to hand out any trophies this spring. We'll be able to get done what we need to do foundationally as a team with the guys we have.
Speaking of one opportunity, I guess Corey Hunter and Jaden was shared out, just another opportunity to kind of build upon last year.
Yeah, sharing it out for sure. Jaden's going to end up having to have some surgery as well. He's got to have that shoulder fixed. He played, all last part of the season with that brace on, but he wants to get through. He wants to go compete, You know, we could have gone ahead and cleaned him up, but, you know, we wanted to wait and let him get at least the first half of spring so he can really get out there and compete, and then we'll probably have to clean his shoulder up, his other shoulder, after spring break. And, so he probably won't be available for the spring game, but that way we can get him back and ready to go for really all of our summer training and stuff. Now, some of these guys that we went ahead and did the surgeries on, you know, like I said, Marcus Tate didn't really have a choice, Walker Parks didn't have a choice, but, you know, we're very Rook, XT, we're very confident in those guys and who they are. You know, probably the biggest one is Adam. I wish we'd had him out there this spring, but he'll be back soon.
Yeah, but with Salato, I think it's about 7 months since he got injured this season. Are you about where you would like for him to be, or is he?
We did the surgery in September, I guess. So what's that?
6.
Yeah, so he's about 6 months. You know, it's you know, not really trying to rush him or anything like that, but he's you just never know. You know, some guys respond really well, and you know are back quicker than others. So he's just not quite where he needs to be, you know, yet. So we're just going to keep progressing him.
15 years for you, how many years for the hat?
This hat?
What's the story? Why always that hat?
I don't know. That's a good one. I've got my original hat. I wear it every now and then from '03. It's got just the purple bib, white hat. I don't know. I like routine.
I just thought you had a closet full of those.
What's that?
I just thought you had a closet full of those hats.
No, it's only